episode of Pro Wrestling Talk.
Another episode.
Yeah, another episode. Um, I'm David, and this is Alex. We're going to be talking about Raw, and the beginning of Raw, which was the first match. It was Finn Balor versus The Miz. Finn Balor ended up defeating The Miz, which was, it's always a good show. Dean Ambrose was the
Co-general manager.
Yeah, he was the co-general manager. Miz was the other co-general manager, and Dean Ambrose is the one that actually made that match. So he was. What happened was the Miz tried leaving, and he was like, forget this. I'm better than this. And Dean Ambrose ended up saying, you know what? No, it's not gonna end like this. You're gonna go and restart the match, and Finn Balor ended up picking up the win. I thought it was a good match to start off. That's for sure.
But you know what that means, though, right? That since Finn Balor went ahead and pinned The Miz, then technically speaking, if The Miz goes on and defeats Ambrose, then Finn Balor right away has an opportunity to get the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, definitely. It
So,
definitely could be possible.
I mean, maybe this is the time where Ambrose is gonna drop the Intercontinental Champion and then go for the higher gold, or start doing little matches, and then we might see a little Miz and Balor rivalry.
Yep.
If Bray Wyatt does not get in the way. So, Alexa Bliss against Mickie James on a non-title match, and the winner of that match is always going to be Alexa Bliss. Overall, great match, but I did see that Nia Jax did intervene a little bit, and she did go ahead and attack Mickie James at the end of the match. So maybe that's sparking up a little bit, so that way Nia Jax can have an opponent for Backlash. I mean, not Backlash, for the next pay-per-view. Because Mickie James has kind of been pushed to the side ever since she's come over to the Raw brand, and Nia Jax has been pushed over aside ever since Charlotte left. So I'm assuming they're trying to give them a little bit more of an importance into the brand.
Yeah, the funny thing is that Alexa Bliss is actually trying to be best friends with Nia Jax.
Yep.
I mean, she doesn't really have a choice. She might as well just go with it because Nia Jax is just looking to get the title opportunity, and Alexa Bliss is actually just trying to go with it, so that way she doesn't get stomped by her. I mean, Bailey it was at Mickie James' side, which I honestly think is awesome for Mickie James to not be the heel anymore.
Yeah.
Especially since who knows, maybe she might retire.
But she didn't play a good heel to begin with Alexa Bliss.
Very true. She looked like she was always happy.
Yeah. So her being on Bailey's team might be giving her an extra push up rather than a push down to where she was originally at.
Yep.
To begin with.
The next match is Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman, that's the funny thing about that guy is that somehow he got hurt. I think he got hurt at one of the live shows because he for sure did not get hurt.
Well, apparently he got hurt when he tried to take out Roman Reigns during the last pay-per-view. And
they didn't really...
But at the end, he when Roman Reigns was by the ambulance, Braun Strowman went ahead and tried to spear him through the door. And that's when Roman Reigns just moved out of the way, and Braun Strowman just went towards the door, and then that's when he hit his shoulder at the door.
Oh, okay.
Breaking it off the ambulance truck. So with that's how he got hurt.
Well, Kalisto called him out, and he ended up saying, "Hey, you know what? I could beat you with one arm." And Dean Ambrose was like, "Hey, you know what? That's a good idea." So what ended up happening was Kalisto was facing him in a one-on-one match with Braun Strowman. Soon after, Kalisto was getting his butt kicked out of him, and he was just getting dismantled. After that, Braun Strowman grabs the mic. He starts calling out people because he thinks he's a top dog. All of a sudden, out of nowhere comes Roman Reigns, and I thought it was awesome because I'm a big Roman Reigns fan. So yeah, that was pretty awesome to see. They were just duking it out, just trading hands. At one point, Roman Reigns ended up spearing Braun Strowman. So that's gonna be that's awesome. They're just putting their bodies on the line and
But
stuff like that.
not only that, but it didn't take one or two Superman punches. He took three Superman
Yep,
punches to
very
knock
true.
down Braun Strowman. So, I mean, with that rivalry continuing, I just don't see them giving it a rest until they go through either an I Quit match or like a Hell in a Cell match
Yeah, very true.
where they end the rivalry with a bang. Because you can't, I mean, you can't just end the rivalry just because, especially that one where it's been ongoing, unless they switch gears for Braun Strowman in order for him to wrestle Brock Lesnar
Yeah,
at the next pay per view, because they haven't been showing Brock Lesnar either, and that's still to come as to who's Brock Lesnar's next opponent going to be. Is it going to be Roman Reigns or is it going to be Braun Strowman? It's going to be either or, just because given the fact that the last encounter that Lesnar had was with Braun Strowman, but Lesnar wanted to call out Roman Reigns.
yeah.
Sheamus and Cesaro in the turmoil match because they were the victorious winners.
With the tag
Now,
team turmoil.
yeah, the tag team turmoil match. Now, they were the ones that started it, and they went against three teams, right? Correct.
I believe it was three teams. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so they at the end of the day they ended up winning. I'm very impressed with them, with both of them actually, just because of the fact that they were able to go through three Raw tag teams, well not champions, but three Raw tag teams, and they were able to defeat all of them in one single night.
Yeah.
And after that, I mean, with that win, then they became the number one contenders for the tag team champions. You know.
Yeah, for me, I honestly thought that they were already gonna win. It was kind of already a given. They honestly already had a feud with the Hardy Boys. So I mean, I automatically thought that was gonna happen. Because I mean, when you got Goldust and R-Truth facing with Sheamus and Cesaro, Goldust and R-Truth have been out of wrestling for a while. They haven't really been on screen wrestling, so I don't know. To me, I thought that was already a given that they were gonna win. But I mean, it was pretty awesome that the Hardy Boys ended up going there and calling them
Yeah,
out,
that's true.
and that was awesome. Sheamus and Cesaro, obviously, they were like on our time kind of thing. So it was they're just trying to build it up for the next pay per view, I guess. If
Exactly.
not, who knows? Maybe if the ratings go down, we might see it sooner than later. You know.
We'll see.
Another match that happened was Seth Rollins defeating Samoa Joe. Now Samoa Joe, you already know how he is. Doesn't really care what he does. So what ended up happening was Seth Rollins ended up picking up the win because Samoa Joe got disqualified. To me, I honestly was not a big fan of that match because we already saw it at Payback.
This is
So I
true.
mean, what, why do we need to see it again?
Well, I mean, the thing with the thing with Samoa Joe's matches that I've seen lately in the live shows, it isn't the fact that he's like the destroyer or whatever. It's the fact that he can't finish the match.
Yeah,
He either gets counted out, he either gets disqualified or whatnot. But I mean, you're in the entertaining business to entertain. You're not there to just give it a 80%. You have to give it 100%. And the way that he wrestles, yeah, he's a destroyer
he's
or
beat.
whatnot.
I'm sorry,
But the thing is that
he's beat.
yeah, I don't know if he just doesn't cut it as a wrestler anymore. But I mean, him going up against Seth Rollins, I feel like it's just pushing Seth Rollins down a lot more
Yep.
than where he was. He just faced off the King of Kings, Triple H, and now you're facing the Destroyer, who doesn't even come close to the level of the King of Kings. So, I mean, what's gonna go happen to Seth Rollins in the future? Yeah, the feud is still gonna go on, but is it gonna go on where, I mean, is it going to get better, or are we going to have singles matches every week or every other week with both of them, or is Seth Rollins going to have matches with another person and Samoa Joe's just going to interfere and get him and get somebody disqualified?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I don't know.
that's the only questions that I have with that feud. As far as anything else, I mean, that feud should have ended a long time
He
ago.
was gonna have a feud with what's his name, Sami Zayn, but he ended up getting shooken up, and
And yeah, and
they
it's
ended up
it's
going to
SmackDown,
SmackDown. So that
but
that was over with,
but the thing is that
short lived.
yeah, but the thing is that with feuds you can only extend them for so far because even the crowd didn't look like they were too entertained with the singles match that they had.
I wasn't. Nope.
Like, yeah, they Samoa Joe ripped the turnbuckle off and then got disqualified. Then he choked out Seth Rollins. But people want to see a brawl. They want to see
Yep.
people fighting, not just getting somebody
Entertainment.
not so just somebody getting choked out or disqualified every time they wrestle. But enough of Samoa Joe for now. We're gonna talk about the cruiserweights. They did have a match in Raw, and it was TJP, which is formerly TJ Perkins, against the gentleman Gallagher. And that match, TJP did win. He kind of won by pulling the tights with the gentleman. And the one person that did come out that I was so happy that he came out was Austin Aries. But Austin Aries came out and then basically trying to settle the score with TJP since he basically put him in a brace. He put him in a knee brace, and he's mad at that. I do see a tag team coming up with Austin Aries and Jack Gallagher and TJP and the King of the Cruiserweights. I do see that happening either this week coming up on Raw or at 205 Live. One of the two.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think TJ Perkins, he's definitely setting the bar higher and higher. Even though he's playing heel, he's definitely making a name for himself right now. He's a young kid, so I mean, he's proving himself that he could do whatever it takes. Moving forward from that, Sasha Banks faced off against Alicia Fox. I mean, that was a. We're probably gonna just say this right now. You're probably gonna know who won. Sasha Banks, obviously. Alicia Fox has been in the business for about 10 years, but I mean, let's be honest, she's never been quite a good of a wrestler.
Maybe when she started out for sure, but now I think they just use her to move up the wrestlers.
Yeah, very true.
Which I mean, in a way, it is a good thing, but I don't see why Sasha Banks is going up against Alicia Fox, given the fact that she used to be the women's champion.
I believe it was just a filler for Raw. So
The last and final match that did happen was Bray Wyatt against Dean Ambrose. Now, it was a non-title match, and Bray Wyatt did come out the winner, but the only way he did come out the winner was because the Miz hit him in the back of the head with the
because
Intercontinental.
Bray Wyatt always wins with some help.
Yeah, that's
Always.
like
Always.
it's given. It's a given. If at any time Bray Wyatt goes against somebody and he's gonna win, it's because somebody's gonna get in it.
I think he holds the record for most wins
With assists.
With assists.
Yeah, like most wins
It's not
with assists.
basketball, so
Well, I mean, how else am I gonna put it? But it's true. He never wins without getting help, and in this case, he got help from the Miz. Miz hit Ambrose in the back of the head with the Intercontinental Champion, and then Bray Wyatt went ahead and did his finisher on him. He did come out the winner.
okay. Now check this
So-
out though. Listen to this. This is my David moments.
David
Right.
Theory. Okay, go
David Theory. There you go. Boom. Bray Wyatt defeats Dean Ambrose. Automatically, he is guaranteed a spot for the U.S. title.
on.
All
No,
right.
for the Intercontinental Champion.
Oh yeah, he has the Intercontinental. Whatever. Finn Balor defeats The Miz, the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Champion. All right.
Fatal 4-way.
Fatal 4-way. There you go. And guess what? Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt already have tension growing between them.
And then Ambrose and the Miz, they've had tension between them
Yes.
since they were in SmackDown.
So I'm thinking Finn Balor and Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt and The Miz, and next week. Just saying, next week for sure. Fatal 4-way in the future. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, that can definitely be a guaranteed WrestleMania event. Since we haven't been.
WrestleMania's next year, so maybe.
No, I'm sorry,
SummerSlam.
not a
How about
WrestleMania
that?
event. The next pay-per-view that they have, the next pay-per-view that they do have, I do see that happening just because of the fact that they haven't been using the WWE
Yep.
champion.
But for SmackDown, let's talk about SmackDown now, and it's gonna be Natalia defeated Becky Lynch. All right, they have the factions in the SmackDown Women's Division right now, and it is Natalia. It's the other two girls. I can't even remember. They're nobodies to me, to be honest.
It's Italia, Carmella, and then Tamika or
Oh
whatnot.
yeah, the ones that never wrestle anyone. Those are the ones.
And then you also got the princess of them all, James Ellsworth.
Yes,
I don't know why that guy's still in.
Because he's a girl. That's why. Point is that Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Naomi. Okay, that's the power team that you're thinking about right there. The fact that they're going up against those nobodies, it's just whatever. I'm not even gonna talk about that. The point is that Natalia ended up defeating Becky Lynch because there was tension between Naomi and Charlotte because Naomi was going after I believe Carmella, yes, and Charlotte yells like, "Hey, don't get Becky disqualified," and grabs her real quick. Becky Lynch gets thrown off, and then boom, Natalia ends up hitting her, getting her finisher, and picking up the win. All right. To that,
I mean, to be honest, not everybody always wins. So with that match, I do see other matches with the factions, them two going 1-on-1 again.
Yep.
In the future.
Hopefully next week.
And I'm just waiting for them to go 3-on-3. Like I haven't seen that yet, or maybe it did happen already. But I haven't seen it yet, and I want that to happen.
Yep.
But the number one thing that I'm wondering is that they're focusing on tag teams with the women's division. So what I'm wondering is what's going to happen with the women's champion. Like it's supposed to be between Charlotte and Naomi, but for right now they're just worrying about tag teams. So
well, we'll see.
As far as
I'm pretty sure they're going to break up pretty soon. I mean, there's already tension that hasn't even been created, so
that's true. But the next match that did happen on SmackDown that everybody was booing because of the winner was Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, the two former allies of Bray Wyatt. Now, ever since Bray Wyatt went to the Raw brand, we have seen that Luke Harper and Eric Rowan have been on their own, and they've been against each other. This past week, Eric Rowan did pick up the win from Luke Harper. I mean, I don't know. I just don't feel like the crowd thinks that they are, like mid-level guys. I think they're more of a level.
I think Luke Harper is.
He has the potential.
Yeah, he has a lot of potential. Eric Rowan, I believe they're trying to push him. They're pushing him so that way he can become same thing as Luke.
Yeah.
So that way they can make a name for themselves. Since I really don't think that the Wyatt family is going to be intact anymore. I mean, Bray Wyatt, he's just. I don't know, just something else. And now that it's separated, I'm glad that Luke Harper is his own person because him as a wrestler, he is amazing to me.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen too much of Eric Rowan just because he was out of action for a few months.
Yeah.
And with him being back, I mean, we have to give him a little bit of a chance.
He got a new shirt too. Luke Harper got a new shirt. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna copy you, bro. I'm gonna get a new shirt.
He got a black
same color,
but he got a black shirt. Yeah,
same color.
White shirt to black shirt, tank tops. Not too much of a difference, but whatever.
Yep. For the tag team division, Breezango definitely is getting a push.
Writing tickets.
Sorry, Ascension, you're still down there. They got
writing
defeated.
Tickets.
Ascension got defeated by Breezango. All right. It's pretty cool. They're doing they do little skits of Law and Order, but with fashion because that's what Breezango's all about. And
like your hair, David, it needs a fashion tip.
Breezango, though, they are the #1 contenders for the tag team titles. So the fact that they're getting this push, it is awesome. Same thing with SmackDown. It's awesome. Land of Opportunity. Breezango, it's new, but it's
about time though.
It's about time to watch. Yeah, it's funny. I like it. I don't mind seeing it.
They're cheesy little skits, but it is entertaining.
Yeah, it's a story. People want to see that.
It's better than the storyline that the Usos have, to be honest, because the Usos are the tag team champions for SmackDown, and they haven't done anything.
I know they're Samoan, but they don't have to yell every time they talk. I'm just saying because they say this. They said like what they said to Breezango after their match,
and then the little hairs that you feel on the back of your neck. It ain't paranoia. It's the ooh sauce. Like, come on, man. They have to come up with something better. Like,
especially because first of all they yell it, and then second of all they said the same thing to Cable and the other guy.
oh, the American Alpha.
Yes.
Yeah, they did. They said the same thing, and yeah, maybe that's gonna be their trademark. We'll see. But because this is the second time that they do use that, but I just don't see them as tag team champion like material. Breezango, I mean, they're getting up there and they're entertaining. The crowd likes to see
They're
them.
funny. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
them.
like
It's like the next Rhino and
Heath Slater.
Heath Slater.
Yeah, like they're weird, quirky. Like people like entertaining. People like people that entertain, not just people that are just like in the back of the
I'll go see
of
them.
the stage.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I'll go see them rather than the Usos any day. But so glad that Breezango did pick up the win for the number one contender for the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. But we'll see when they do face them.
Yep.
And I do feel like as if Breezango will come out victorious.
Hopefully.
But moving on to the last match of SmackDown was Jinder Mahal, Kevin Owens, and Baron Corbin.
Which he did come back from suspension for being an idiot and get hitting an official. Usually when you hit an official, I mean it's kind of like they already know that they're gonna get hit. But in talking smack, that's where he ended up hitting the official,
which is
it's more real.
You don't really do that.
Yeah, it's not scripted. It's more real, and he was too into his character that he just pushed an official, and he's a big guy, so pushing an official.
You're talking about
really
somebody that's like almost 7 feet tall, pushing somebody that's like 5 feet.
Exactly. So I mean,
it's like pushing a 5-year-old.
He was suspended. He came back. We are glad to see him back, only because he does pick up a little bit on SmackDown. He picks up.
Yeah,
everybody wants to see him. I want to see him. He's a pretty good guy.
But it was Mahal, Owens, and Corbin against Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and Sami Zayn. I like the fact that Sami Zayn is part of that main event crowd now, because in Raw they usually had him as a filler match.
Yep. Here
now he's doing main events. That's something that Sami Zayn should be part of every single time, or at least a mid-level card. That's he's up to that caliber where he can do that. He's able to last in that match. Now, Jinder Mahal, Owens, and Corbin did pick up the win, but I mean, I don't know. I didn't see that as a fair one.
I mean, when you got Jinder Mahal's little minions there, I mean, it's not. It was really like 5-on-3, not really 3-on-3. And apart from that match aside, I mean, that to me, it was a good main event. We're probably gonna end up seeing a couple storylines develop from that match itself. I mean, that's just gonna be it for this episode of.
And that's a wrap.
Pro Wrestling Talk with 2Ks.
So, like, subscribe, do whatever.
Share if you want.
Exactly.
For sure.
So, hit that like button, guys.
We'll try to get a couple mugs or shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So that way we can give some out to the people that are actually watching.
And then that way, yeah, exactly. So we can give some out, and then to our viewers.
Subscribe so that way you're the first one to see our video, or else you're not gonna get a shirt or a mug or whatever.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Peace out.